Hi, I'm Betty Jean Kling, and I've written a piece that I'm quite proud of. It's called Hillary's Greatest Legacy, and I'd like to read it to you because it's very special to me. I've run the gamut of emotions about Hillary since 1990s. This woman has got to be the most misunderstood lady in all of our history. The books about her range from angel to devil, or should I say bitch to dish. She's done remarkably well under the most daunting of circumstances, and yet she remains so difficult to understand. I can get so angry with her one minute and so proud of her the next. To call her an enigma would be an understatement. But to say that she has left women the greatest legacy is also an understatement, and no one has yet to realize it. If I were in Hillary's place, I would not have quit. I would die first, but I would not have quit. I wrote on June 4th, even Rosa Parks risked her life but would not give up her seat at the front of the bus. I thought, what if my child's life was threatened? Well, I have a child on the deathbed, and yet she and I, send me out to do this work instead of spending any quality time with her together because, well, this is a greater thing we do to save our country. So for the greater good, then, why would she do what she's doing? Is there any reason for her, being the woman that she is, to seemingly cave in this way? And wouldn't you know it, I actually came up with a very good reason. I've listened very carefully to every speech that she's given since she's suspended, hoping for a few words to cling to, and I've always found them. On June 3rd, she seemed to urge us to continue on without her. She said, "Always aim high, work hard, and care deeply about what you believe in. And when you stumble, keep the faith. When you're knocked down, get right back up, and never listen to anyone who says you can't or shouldn't go on." On August 26th, she seemed to urge us to continue on without her again. America is still around after 232 years because we have risen to the challenge every new time, changing to be faithful to our values of equal opportunity for all and the common good. And I know that it can mean for every man, woman, and child in America. I'm a United States Senator because in 1848, a group of courageous women and a few brave men gathered in Seneca Falls, New York, many traveling for days and nights to participate in the first convention on women's rights in our history. And so dawned a struggle for the right to vote that would last 72 years, handed down by mother to daughter to granddaughter, and a few sons and grandsons along the way. These women and men looked into their daughters' eyes and imagined a fairer and freer world, and found the strength to fight, to rally and picket, to endure ridicule and harassment, to brave violence and jail. After so many decades, 88 years ago on this very day, the 19th Amendment guaranteeing women the right to vote would be forever enshrined in the Constitution. My mother, she said, was born before women could vote, but in this election, my daughter got to vote for her mother for president. This is the story of America, of women and men who defy the odds and never give up. How do we give this country back to them? By following the example of a brave New Yorker, a woman who risked her life to shepherd slaves along the Underground Railroad. And on that path to freedom, Harriet Tubman had one piece of advice. If you hear the dogs, keep going. If you see the torches in the woods, keep going. If they're shouting after you, keep going. Don't ever stop. Keep going. If you want a taste of freedom, keep going. Even in the darkest moment, ordinary Americans have found the faith to keep going. I've seen it in you. I've seen it in our teachers and firefighters, nurses, police officers, small business owners, and union workers, the men and women of our military. In you, always. Keep going, she said. We are Americans. We're not big on quitting. ... We don't have a moment to lose or a vote to spare. Nothing less than the fate of our nation and the future of our children hang in the balance. I want you to think about your children and grandchildren come election day, and think about the choices your parents and grandparents made that had such a big impact on your life and on the life of your nation. We've got to ensure that the choice we make in this election honors the sacrifices of all that came before us and will fill the lives of our children with possibility and hope. This is our duty, to build that bright future and to teach our children that in America there is no chasm too deep, no barrier too great, no ceiling too high for all who work hard, never back down, always keep going, and have faith in God, in our country, and in each other. Thank you so much. God bless America, and Godspeed to you all. There was one line in there that I left out, and I showed it, and I pronounced it ... It's the line where she mentions we should vote for Barack Obama. And we know that she had to say that she was, after all, at his coronation, and that's what leads me to the rest of the story. Now, you may call me Pollyanna, but I'd like to believe that Hillary was sacrificing herself for us that night. Clearly, she laid out a resounding call to us not to stop the fight that she began. Before she suspended, what did she and all her supporters think of Barack Obama? Why should we believe they feel any different now? They don't. Unless you believe that she and her supporters were lying, we have no other choice but to believe that she and her others, including Joe Biden, the VP candidate standing at Obama's side right now, told us the truth before they were forced to fall in line. I believe that Hillary has given the speech of her life in telling us to go on, and she has indeed urged Americans to step up and fight for our country as those before us fought to give us the freedom that we now have. And it indeed is our country, and she has clearly reminded us that we must fight for it, and we must fight for it now. And what better way to move women to fight than to show us why we must fight? Only by showing us the reality of what happens to women who try to run for office on that very day could she prove that sexism exists. Prove how in a country that boasts equality and civil rights to the world, a country that does not tolerate racism in any way, in fact tolerates blatant sexism, which can be nothing less than a violation of civil rights that exists in this nation against women. What Hillary has in fact done by supporting Obama is given us an example of how, in this United States that preaches women's rights around the world, tolerates the abuse of women right here at home, and then forces them to be subservient to their abusers. Yes, Hillary's greatest legacy is the uncovering of America's dirtiest little secret. Hillary's greatest legacy remains unrealized, and until and unless we grasp it before this election, it'll be too late to use it to its highest and greatest use when it benefits us the most, right now. Thank you.